The good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
We got three.
On 2nd and 7, Trubisky. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive and a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Back to throw. Lawrence. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here.
And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Trubisky to throw. He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, it's Montgomery, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. D. Ford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
You got tight right there. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Shoot.
Off play action. Lawrence. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. 2 seconds to go, first quarter. On second down now. It's Coleman, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, it's 9-0. Off the play fake, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. DeForest Buckner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Going long here for Wallace. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
In your face. You're out. Check nickel. Check
Operating from the gun, Lawrence. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Off play action, Lawrence. And he's going to be taken down, back around the 35-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Back to throw. Lawrence. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On first down, Lawrence. And this is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. On springs free, Montgomery loses it. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
On first down, here's Breida. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. He's at the 30. 20. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. Lawrence completes it to Samuel. The 30. 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 76 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Trubisky now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go.
Trubisky leaves with Montgomery on the draw. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the slant. Check 26. Check 26.
Trubisky will throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. D Ford in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Come on, Bears. Let's go.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, lock it. Switch. Hey, Sam off. Switch.
Off the play fake. Lawrence. Deep ball for Goodwin. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check. Go. Get wide. Hey, watch it.
Off play action. Lawrence. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Go.
A final shot before break. Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On 1st and 10, Lawrence. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. The 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper, right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
From the 29, Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. And now off to the races down the right side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. And that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They're a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
45.
From the gun, Lawrence. And he fires one incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100, and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck, and the Bears take over. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
They're trying to protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
It's just me and you. Check by 33.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, defense. Out of time. It's our time.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Hey, check by 45. Check
play fake. Lawrence. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Quick pass out to Miller. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
14 yards in a Chicago first down. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. On first down, Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. But it'll be second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Gets it to Gabriel on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, it's Montgomery. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Here is Montgomery on 3rd and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
Well, he decided to run it in, and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
That's fielded in the end zone. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
I'm going to hit you all day.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here.
Out. Let's go, D. Ready.
Off play action. Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Here's Coleman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Lawrence. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Off the play fake. Lawrence going long here for Wallace. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. Man open. It's Goodwin. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the